guys, today is Wednesday, September 15th, and I am 6 minutes away to have an interview with the director of the major with FIDM, and I am really a little bit nervous, but I think things will go well because I've been waiting for this and ready till today. And basically, it's at the informations in here. She mentions that please prepare to discuss about the major, present the portfolio, and access the student portal at FIDM to pay $200 for application fees. And hopefully I can meet the deadline and transfer out by September 17 because that's the deadline for 60-day periods. If not, I will get in trouble. So with that, I will get ready and show you the process of the interview soon. So right now it's 1:30. I'm waiting for the directors to be thrown the Zoom in and ready to start. It's been 2 minutes and she's not here yet. Really don't know. Well, hopefully everything is okay to her. Maybe she have a busy schedule. Hi. Oh. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Megan. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Perfect. I don't see you though. Are you coming? There you are. I'm so sorry. I hope you weren't waiting too long.
No, that's okay. I was about to email you to make sure you okay with the schedule.
Yes, I got a little bit backed up with some appointments, but I just looked through your whole file and I was reading about you, and you were mentioning that you actually started a clothing line, did you say, when you were 18?
It's not a clothing line. I did wholesale. So basically, I bought it and I do resell it when I was 18, and it was different lines.
How were you inspired to do that at such a young age?
I actually love fashions, and then back then, I would work at the fashion store as a sales prep. I was really young, 16, and my mom didn't allow me to work. So basically, I want to make money and really fulfill my passion with fashions. So I just started sell stuff, and then because I love business and fashion, so that's why I did that.
So did you always like fashion and sort of even business? I mean, sometimes you don't realize you like business when you're a really young child. You almost don't know what it means. But fashion is kind of something that you might be drawn to. And I was wondering if you just tell me a little bit about that.
I actually love business. I did business when I was little. I was selling stuff, and it just super kind of like love doing that. But I really didn't know. But when I kind of growing up, so when I started selling clothes, because basically I don't have that much of money to buy clothes and wear it. As a kids, we always want to wear new stuff, new clothes to go out, take pictures. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and then also I can wear my clothes for free and do So I do combine that. So I wear, and then I do PR for that, take pictures, and then I can sell it to make money too.
Oh my gosh, I love that you were doing that at an early age, and just wanting clothes and wanting to go get it and making it happen for yourself. What did your family think of it when you were doing that?
Actually, my family did not do anything related to that at all, because my parents used to work for the hotel and they got fired, so they became entrepreneur, and they started their own business with a farm with like animals, kitchens, pigs and stuff like that. So as a really young age, I saw my parents been through that, so I promised myself I don't want to work for anyone. And during that time, it's just basically I want to make money. I want to really use my own money, but my mom didn't allow me to work. So one of my friends actually helped me, went to China, and I kind of like asked for my mom investment around like $15. And my friend actually helped me buy clothes first, and then I sell it through Facebook and Instagram route during that time, and then I prepay her back the investments, and the profit I keep it.
Wow. Well, you do have a business head on you.
Thank you.
I love it. And tell me, I thought it was interesting in your essay too. There were two brands
So basically, from my own background and experience, I have a little bit issues with mental health because I came here at a stay by myself. So, and then I think it's just really important. And I love yoga. I love being active. So, the first brand is really relate to active life. It's like uh, gym clothes. So it's like promote active life to be, keep yourself really in a like good state of being active, and then also combined with mental health. Basically, when you in a good shape, you're in a good mood, and you feel good about yourself, and it's just so important to combine those two together and help the community because I've been through depressions and one of the most important things for me just go out there and be active and be good, and then that is when my mental health really improve. So I think that is the two combinations of fitness and mental health. That's where it's come from. And one of the actually the relative back home, they do a little bit relate to gym clothes and then also swimsuits. And actually, the beginning of this year, I reached out to her basically to do collaborate. So I will give her the design, and she will help me with the manufacturer back in Vietnam. So we can collaborate and do that in the U.S. But since Vietnam hits with COVID, and I don't have that much of knowledge about, manufacturers and how to choose the fabric, the materials of the type of stuff. And then, before I did a little bit about fashions and sell, but just only in the retailer, not really go into the factory and actually do it. So I really want to see is like combine that knowledge to help me make that come true.
Wow, how interesting. And you really sound like you've been already, just experimenting and learning things and reaching out. And I was impressed to see all the things you've done and your focus to information. And I like that despite the fact that you were dealing with some depression and mental health things, you found a healthy way and a positive way to deal with it. Yeah. Have you felt better now? I mean, how are you doing?
I actually really improve a lot based on talking with someone, but the only person help me out is myself. So I'm just really, and I have been helping a lot of friends, younger friends that came here, been through the same thing or even something different, but I always there help them. So I just want to do anything like can help myself fulfill my passion and also help someone else. If we just selling stuff and there's no purpose on it, it's just really a blank brand. Nothing really impress people. So I just want to use something I'm gonna learn at the school and create something and help people back home for a job if I have the opportunity. So that's is the biggest thing that I plan.
Well, it is nice to hear you talking about having that kind of purpose because I do think the people who really enjoy their careers the most have found meaning in it by doing something that they feel good about. It may just be a product that is very meaningful to them that helps people, or it may be a service, or it may be the actual job itself. Whatever that piece is, adds a lot of layers to your ability to enjoy your career and to make it meaningful. Listening to you, and of course your essay as well, it makes sense that you chose the Apparel Industry Management. Were there any other majors that you and Shirley talked about?
I think when I expressed my idea to her, that's the only major that she mentioned. And I also went to the website and looked it up, but it seemed like what they offer not really relatable to what I want because I have a specific niche that I really want to do. Like I already knew what I want to do, so I just want to choose the right majors, not wasting time and go a different path. Because I also attended the beauty marketing workshop or section yesterday at 4 to 5 p.m. So, but I didn't really feel it connect with that major because I'm not into beauty. And then beauty it's also a way to really make a business, but I don't see that my purpose there. So I just want to really choose the right one to do.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. The other major I would have maybe thought you were interested in is not fashion design, because that's just really the designing portion of it.
Yeah.
Product development does some of what apparel industry management does, but it's a little bit more based on, who that consumer is, and how do you do the technical packets and kind of getting the item designed. But it's a great major as well. It's called merchandise product development. The thing that you would probably really get from this apparel industry management that you don't get from any other major is they really do a combo of you thinking about creating the business, what's a niche in the market, what's something that's relevant, why is it relevant, looking at the competition. Product development does some of that. Apparel industry just dives in a little more. And apparel industry management really gets into the manufacturing side of things. So again, in product development, they touch upon some of, getting things produced. But apparel industry really says, let's compare where we're making this. Let's look at all the pieces that go into it. Let's look at the global marketplace. Let's talk about how we're going to market. Who's the team? They do this project where they kind of have like a team. And maybe someone's the designer and someone's the financier, someone's the marketing. Because really, as an individual, you can do all of that, but you may be collaborating with other people, or you may find something at a company you really enjoy. You may discover something and say, oh my gosh, I want to be part of this business. I really like it, and find that you're working in a team, and that, what is your role in that team. But it gives you just that full spectrum.
The broad
And
picture.
it's really the major that goes from the concept, the idea, the product, the business, all the way to the consumer.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds like
Yeah.
me.
Okay, good, because you probably saw the classes. I mean, they talk about financing, they talk about quality control. A lot of times when students want to design, they don't really, their mind's not there yet. They're like, oh, I want to really be thinking about designing and sewing. Where in manufacturing, they're saying like, okay, if you're really going to produce this, how are you to make this economical and smart and efficient? And they talk about global human resources, because it is different. It's completely different if you've got people working here in California, people working in Nevada, people working in Vietnam. So It really is a nice, broad business major with design too, though. I mean, you'll do 2 quarters where you're sewing, you're making patterns. I mean, you get to understand what goes into that. Have you ever done any sewing?
I actually never done anything like that before, because for me, I know myself that I'm not good with anything related to design or drawing. So that's why I have no passion with fashion designer, because I'm suck as really bad at, and do anything like that.
You'd be surprised what you could learn, but go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why I like the description that you just told about the major, because I want to look things at in a big vision and different perspective, management side, because I love at working with people. And then because one of my friend actually collaborate, or that he has his own little company that he manufacture t-shirt. And then I asked him like, oh, you export to different countries, so do you have the quality control, how you met the standard like that? So I'm really curious about those parts. So in order to understand the major that I'm looking at right now, it's just really give me those knowledge. Because the other thing, it's really specific about one thing, and I just don't like to do like a small part of it. I'm not good at that.
Yeah, and it's nice to hear you kind of say, even though you have to take these classes where you will be learning some sewing and patterns, but it gives you a good understanding of it too, because that's a big part of cost.
Yeah.
If something is really simple, and you understand what goes into that, the detail, you say, hey, this is, we could charge less or more, whatever. When you have something that's complicated and super detailed, plus I think it helps you understanding what you're looking for. But I like that you want to see this broad picture and have that, because that's really kind of what you need in this major, to say, let me look at the whole scope of things. And I always tell fashion design students, and I know that, maybe some of them hear me and some don't, but I'm like, meet the Apparel Industry Management students. You're going to need them, because if you want to design and they say, oh, I want to have my own line, I'm like, the designing is a big piece that takes time. So you need to work with somebody who's got like the brand
Business
vision,
mindset.
and knows how to get this out there, knows how to sell it, knows how to make all those things happen,
Yes.
And that's one of the things, though, we really encourage at FIDM. You'll have some classes with people just from your major, but you'll have a lot of classes with people from different majors, and there's clubs and activities and events and just things to do to meet other people and, make friends, but also start networking.
It is.
Yeah, what made you decide that FIDM was a good fit for you? I mean, you have other college experience and you've lived in different places.
So I actually, during 2020, I lived in LA for 5 months, and I moved to SF, lived there 6 months, because I want to do research and try to make decisions between UCLA, UC Berkeley, and FIDM, and also the other colleges. But the reason is, I decide and I live in different cities to see which city I like the most, and also do a comparisons between each of them. And I make the decisions I want to live in LA because it's more opportunity. And FIDM is really like specific, really concentrations about what I want to do, because UCLA they have business degree, entrepreneurship, but they just give you a general knowledge about something. And then FIDM is really specific about, and then they have a good connection with, the brands that going straightforward after graduations. So I really want to make that instead of the other school, because when, for instance, if I go to media production before and I study at the school, have no connection with any big company in the industry, it's really challenging for me to really go out and get an internship or have a job with those companies in order to learn, because they don't have connections. So FIDM, I think they have that really a good reputation with the school for that. So that's why I'm like, this is a good one.
Well, your advisor had said that she thought you had really thought things through, and I'm so glad to hear that you had really kind of, experienced some different locations, thought about things, because what we really hope for you is that this experience allows you to get to the next steps that you want to get in life, and also to open your eyes to different things too, because you may stick very much with what you're thinking and kind of stay on that path, or you might discover some other areas that you get excited about and other people to collaborate with. And, obviously UCLA and UC Berkeley are terrific colleges and everything, but it is a very different experience. I mean, we're much smaller. It's very intimate with your faculty and the teachers, the students. You get to know people, and you really do have the opportunity to make connections with people. I love hearing stories about people who I knew in school. Later, I see them 4 years later, 8 years later, and they're telling me, "Oh my gosh, remember so and so? Like, we're working together, or we started a business or something." Or sometimes it's somebody outside of FIDM, but it's fun to think like, wow, they really got to know each other. And I was listening to this student the other day talking about what she was doing, and she got this great internship, and then she got a job there, and they were asking her, "Hey, are there any other students like you?" She was doing more like digital marketing, but she was like, "Yeah." So then I was like looking around in my class and thinking about, who would be good and who's a good student, and do they have the personality. And so I always feel like when you go to FIDM, I mean, I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm at work, but you are kind of starting your career. It's a place to start like building up your reputation.
Yes, that's why I want to aim big for that, because I can just take online classes at your school and do it. But the most important thing for me, because I want to go there to spend a good connection with faculties and friends, and also join different workshops or events to really do that in order, because I want to do global, because I'm from Vietnam. I have friends and relatives there, so the business may be international. It's not specifically in the U.S. So if I want to make that happen, do collaboration, in order to make a dream come true, I need to really step out and then really invest myself, go to this good school with good reputations. And also LA is the city for fashion. It's not San Francisco though. Like it's about tech city, and I don't see fashion is really growing there. And New York, I'm so good with fashion, but it's way too cold. I don't see myself live there. So LA and FIDM here, especially Shirley mentioned to me, the major I want to study only in LA, not in Irvine. So I'm like, you know what? I lived there before. I'm going back.
Wonderful. So where are you right now?
I'm in Anaheim right now.
Oh, okay.
But I'm moving back to LA next month if I get accepted.
Great, great. Yeah. And manufacturing's huge in LA too. Just general manufacturing and a lot of things happening with that. So I wanted to ask you about your educational experience. I mean, tell me a little bit about kind of your path and, being in school, coming from somewhere else. You went to a couple different colleges. I noticed at one of your colleges you hadn't done as well, but then at another one you did really well. So tell me a little bit about you as a student and your experiences as a student.
I have so many educational experience. So I studied media production back home to become producer in Vietnam for 3 years. So I went to the U.S. in a chance as a exchange student in University of West Florida for a year, and planning to go home to get that bachelor degree. But I actually failed from business school back home because my English was 3.5 per 10. So I failed from business degree that I want to go. So I have to choose the major in order to go to school, because over there educational system is different. If you don't go to school and you fail from university, college, they consider you as a loser. So I have to really choose the lowest major with lowest point. So just go to school, and then I studied 3 years for really. I don't like it that much. I don't like behind the scene. So that's why I start business doing fashion, even though do business even though I failed from business school. But my dream and goal is want to go to the U.S. to study, because I love U.S. in general and I love the education in here. So after I have a chance to go to that school in 2015, I came back home and changed my status to F1 and decided to really come here and study the major I like. And then I came to Richland, Dallas, and studied there for 3 years, a business degree, half of it, and then also event planning. And I graduated with that. But when I moved to California, and I was really struggling to find a job because all my connection was back in Dallas, and COVID hit, so no clue what job. And then also event was a major hits really bad in 2020, because there's no seminar, all the conferences stuff, and yeah, it's ruining my 2 years. But I actually saw that whatever I learned back from that degree, I applied to myself, and I've been planning so really different backup plan and risk management and stuff like that for my own life. So I don't think it's a waste at all, and I can use that.
I will tell you too, I think you'll be able to use that in this business.
Yeah.
I think whether it's launching a product or opening, or even maybe with your staff, being able to say like there's something, and just understanding what goes into it, those logistics will help you in thinking of other areas too. So I think it'll benefit you.
Yeah, I think it's too, because business sometimes, because I really go do internship and they kind of lack of planning for their business. They have an idea, they start, but they don't plan out for like years in advance, and that is really make them fail off, or experience with some unexpected events. So that's the reason why I moved to Cali, and I finished my OBT, which is working for 1 year. And I was planning to go home in 2020 after my OBT in order to start my business back in Vietnam though. but it's been delayed for almost 2 years now because they kind of ban all the traveling, and then in order to go back, it take around 10K. So I don't think it's a good way to really go there. And right now, even it's locked down, so there's no economy. It's really job. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to wait for something, and I need to make a decision to continue my professional career. So that's why I decide to go back to school because look at things won't go back to normal until 2023 for sure. But if I do during that time waiting, I can go to school and get knowledge, and when it's go back to normal, I already have it ready. So that's why I really make a decision to go back to school because I moved to Cali and I didn't have any friends, or even today, professional relationship that I have was back in school. Even my professor, my advisor, my friends that I really talk to right now, it's back in school. So that's the reason why I was like, I need to go back.
Wow, what a story. And I have to ask you a few questions. First off, have you spoken English since you were very young?
No. I told you
English is great.
I hate English to the point my English from elementary school to high school was 3.5. I hate English so much.
Wow. Well, it seems like you got it down now.
Yes, I gotta really face my fear because English back then was just only for rich kids and it's really expensive, and I don't have money to study. That's why I hate it so much. But then I have to change my mindset and study myself by watching Disney Channel, music, and stuff like that. And when I came here, I really hang out with only Americans or Asian Americans. I've tried to not to speak a lot of my language in order to learn, and I catch up really fast.
Yeah, good for you because we've worked with tons of international students, and of course, people have, different levels, and sometimes they feel as though they understand better than they speak, or vice versa. But you are just flowing, and you seem like you've been speaking it your whole life. So, congratulations on
Thank you.
that. Um, and also, what an interesting path you've had, and just the ability to adjust to different places, to think about what you want to do, adjust your attitude, experience different campuses, different types of teaching. All of those things I think are just really beneficial, not just to being able to flow into FIDM, but to life and just being able to pursue what you want to do. So, I would just give you a lot of compliments, and I would never think you were somebody that sounded like you were even depressed, because you just seem like you're like, all right, let me figure things out, keep going.
I'm really depressed when I'm not busy because I
Yeah,
really
well,
really fast go, and then back home I'm a city girl. When I move here, that's why I kind of feel isolated because I live myself and COVID and stuff like that. And when I don't do anything to help people and I only do that for myself, I feel a little bit selfish and I don't feel really live my life. So I'm depressed because of those things.
yeah, that makes sense. That is totally understandable. And just so many people went through so many different things this past year. The other thing I was going to tell you is, I think you'll really enjoy the classes at FIDM. Did you take any classes online before?
Oh yeah, I have been taking online classes for the whole year in 2020 because I
Okay.
graduated, but I need to still continue school. So I took 2 semester online for in Chabot College, Community College, the Bay Area. But for
Okay,
me,
so you've had all kinds of experience.
yeah, that's but the reason I really want to go back to school because I need to meet people in person because I'm really done with online and it's just so lonely. And then but I totally understand some class that should be referred online if it's no requirement for interaction or hands-on experience. But
Yeah.
refer if it's like lab requirement, that I think it's like should be good to go to school.
Yeah, I will tell you for our fall quarter, one of the apparel classes might be online because the on-campus classes were getting full. But the one that was online, they said the students are going to campus to be in the lab the next day. So you still get a little bit of both, just so you know that might be the case for one of the classes.
But it's like most of the time the class will offer hybrid, right? Because not fully online, because it will be not a great experience to do online everything.
This particular class, a lot of them were hybrid, a lot of them were on campus. There was one, I'm not sure if it's hybrid because I think they were allowing people out of state to be able to take it. And that then what they did is the class was like, let's say it was on a Monday. So then students who were in that class would go to campus on Tuesday to be in the lab.
I'll see. Yeah, it will be my first time for a quarter, to be honest. But for when I study for semester degree, I always take flex classes to study one month because I want to really condense it and then study fast. I don't want to take full 4 months.
So you've been flex, you've been semester. I think you're going to be a great student. What have you learned about yourself as a student? What do you have to do to really succeed in a class?
Really plan out events. Because I always write when the semester starts, when the semester ends, and all the deadlines and stuff like that, and really delegate into a daily small task or to-do list in order to finish an event and also balance life out. That's why I apply all the event planning experience for the major to my life and my study. If I don't meet that daily goal and I have a big exam coming up, I won't able to really, I will have got to jam up and I'm not going to fulfill or balance out my financial goal, my fitness and everything like that. So as a student, I really need to have a strong discipline for my deadline, follow that.
Yeah, good. That sounds like you have a good sense of what you have to do. And I think that's such the important piece. And looking at your transcripts, I felt very confident that you've had plenty of educational experience, that you know what to do to be successful.
I only have a low GPA when I don't really have a passion with it. I just want to pass it, But when I like it, I will put 100% efforts in there.
Well, I thought what I would do is I wanted to pull up the video you made.
Yeah.
And share my screen, and we could watch that together and then talk a little bit about it because I thought it was so fun. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, here we go.
As a kid, I always think, I wish there's some certain shoes that they can have different functions. And I'm just really surprised at this age. I saw the shoes came out and I was like, this is super genius idea because I always think about it, but I never know how to transform that problems into a solutions. And right now they have that on the market. And I'm just really a supporter that I want to show you guys how it functions and how smart it is. Passion Footwear launches line of shoes that convert from high heels to flats. They raises $1.7 million and launches first 2 styles. High heels are uncomfortable but stylish, but flat shoes are more comfortable but less dressy. The Hailey Bavlon, the 23 years old entrepreneur, created Passion Footwear, a line of shoes that quickly convert from one to another. If you care about the health of your feet, then Passion should be a really good idea. To create the Passion shoes, Bavlon teamed up with an industrial designer and mechanical engineer, won several pitch competitions, and got into Cal Poly Hot House Incubator program. Smart women, especially those who want to able to walk from place to place and also run in case they encounter danger, should give up their high heels altogether, and now is the time to do it. It's like getting 2 pairs of shoes for the price of one. It also means we only need to bring 1 pair of shoes on a trip to save space, and this 1 pair provides real comfort along with gorgeous style. I hope this creative and innovative product show you something new about the fashions and shoes industry. I hope that in the future, after I graduate from FIDM, I also have this knowledge and the opportunity to create something different for the fashion industry. And thank you so much for spending the time to watch the video. I see you next time.